If you've ever wondered how to create a successful YouTube channel, you're definitely not alone. Every year, millions and millions of creators start a YouTube channel with the hopes of making it successful. Unfortunately though, for a lot of those creators, they struggle to maintain their YouTube channels and build momentum. So in today's video, we're going to talk about a few different tips that you can keep in mind for how to create a successful YouTube channel. And hopefully some of these tips will help you to find a little bit of success on YouTube. But if you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Kaylee and I'm a beauty and fashion photographer based near Sydney, Australia. But I'm also a content creator and I started this channel a few years ago to talk about all things business, social media, content creation, and freelancing. And as I already mentioned, we're going to be talking about some tips today that will hopefully help you to create a successful YouTube channel. Now, first off for this video, I'm just going to do a little bit of a recap for those of you who may not be as familiar with my videos. And I've done this recap in numerous videos on my channel before. But to start off with, I'm actually running 3 separate YouTube channels. So I have my main YouTube channel that I actually started 10 years ago now. And that YouTube channel is for photography and retouching tutorials. It's basically just called Kaylee June. And I've been running that, as I mentioned, for 10 years. I have been doing all sorts of photography videos on there and retouching videos, tutorials. And like I said, that's been essentially my main YouTube channel that I first started. Then I started this channel back in 2021 as I really wanted to branch into business and social media and content creation, as I really love talking about those topics. And that is essentially a lot of what I do these days. And then I also run a 3rd channel with my husband Dan, and we actually do a bunch of travel vlogs over at Wonder Walkers. So we've been actually running that channel since around 2017, although it hasn't necessarily been our priority channel because we've each had so many different ventures, and it's really just that channel that we do as a passion project for now. It is something that we try and dedicate time to whenever we have the time. So I feel like I've had a lot of experience with YouTube over the years, and especially with starting different YouTube channels and how different your audiences can be. I think there's so much you can learn from even just posting to YouTube over a long period of time. So being that I've had that sort of experience, I'm going to be talking about some of the things specifically that have really helped me over the years, and especially helped me to keep going with my YouTube channels, because at the end of the day, that's one of the most important things. You really just need to persevere. So I will be talking about some of the tips that I feel have helped me the most as well. So without further rambling, let's get into the first point. And the first tip that I have for creating a successful YouTube channel is to build momentum. Now, I've actually mentioned this word already in this video because I actually feel like it's a very imperative thing when you do have a YouTube channel. When you actually gain that momentum with a YouTube channel, you start to really treat it seriously. I feel like you dedicate so much more time to the channel. You'll also feel more obliged to. You'll feel like you need to get in a schedule or a routine with it. And I feel like it's really great to have that momentum because it really does push you along. Something that a lot of creators I think can struggle with on YouTube is that perseverance factor, and to really just try and keep going. Even if you're not getting views, you're not getting comments, you're not getting engagement, it's a really hard thing to do. It's hard to find that inspiration sometimes to keep moving forward. But I always like to say to people, if they're starting a YouTube channel and they're struggling with this, to find those little things that you can really celebrate and help to inspire you and move you along with it. So even looking at small things like maybe gaining more subscribers than you usually would in a day, maybe you got a really nice comment on one of your videos, maybe YouTube started recommending one of your videos and you can really celebrate that. All of these things can actually really contribute to momentum, I've found, and sometimes it's important to celebrate the little things, not always waiting for that video to go viral. However, I will say that if you do have a video go viral or it really gets pushed by the YouTube algorithm, it can really generate momentum. I will say that because I think I'm actually the perfect example of this. One of the videos that did really well on my channel late last year when I posted it, it was called I Posted on Instagram Daily for 6 months. Here's what happened. And that video really took off for me. And then suddenly I was getting more subscribers, I was getting more views on my channel. I didn't really have a set routine before that video. I had been posting consistently, I would say anywhere between 1 and 3 times a month all year, but I didn't really have a set schedule. I was still probably not in a routine with creating those videos as much as I should have been. But I tell you what, as soon as that video did well, I started a schedule and I have been sticking to it ever since. I have basically not missed a week. I have filmed 2 videos a week every week since that video actually did really well. And that's something I'm actually really proud of because again, this wasn't something I was actually doing as well before that video actually started to do well. And I felt like that momentum just spurred me forward and I was like, okay, I'm taking this seriously now. I'm actually going to be posting twice a week. I'm going to stick to this schedule and I have basically now for nearly a year. I've been posting those 2 videos a week. So that's something I'm pretty happy with overall. And I think, again, it is so important to get that kind of momentum. But the one thing that I want to stress is that you're not always going to have that viral video. For example, on my other channels, like my main channel, my main photography and retouching channel, even though I've got over 100,000 subscribers on that channel, I've been running that channel for 10 years and I never really had any video just suddenly go viral. I just didn't. I had a lot of videos that did well on search over time, and they were very slow growing videos, and yes, some of them have a couple 100,000 views, but nothing like what happened to this channel last year had happened to my original channel in 10 years. I never had that viral video, so I really had to find other things to just keep me going. And sometimes you might even get things like brand deals or brands contacting you to work with you on different projects, and that can be really momentum building. I think that that's also a really wonderful thing as a small creator to have things like that happen, because it really does inspire you and it makes you really believe in yourself a lot more too. So I would say that momentum is severely underrated with YouTube channels, and it is something that you will gain if you can really celebrate those little things, but also when the big things do happen, that's great. But definitely remember to look at those little things, those comments that might be really lovely on your videos. You might have a specific subscriber who always loves to comment on your videos, or who always likes your videos, always cheering you on. I always find that that is the most lovely thing, and it's such a great part of momentum as well. So definitely look at those little things as well as wanting to aim big. Okay, so tip number 2 is to create a schedule that works for you. I've spoken about this kind of thing so many times on my YouTube channel before because I really think it's something that's very important, and I think a lot of creators don't have problems with actually creating schedules. It's actually either sticking to them and making sure that it's something that is tailored to them and their lifestyle. This is something that is so imperative because, for example, if you've got a part-time or a full-time job and you're working 9 to 5, that can be really difficult to try and fit in filming YouTube videos and editing them each week. So if you're setting yourself a schedule that is to have your full-time job 9 to 5 and then do like 5 to 7 videos a week or daily content or something like that, it is more than likely going to burn you out very, very quickly, and you're going to start to lose that kind of sense of really wanting to post on YouTube, because it really is all about that perseverance and making sure that you're posting, you're sticking to a schedule, even when you're not getting comments, you're not getting engagement, you're not getting views. It's kind of really all part of it. And that can be very deflating, especially when you have a lot of other commitments that you need to attend to in your daily life. So make sure that whatever your lifestyle is, whatever you do for a living, make sure that if you're trying to create a YouTube schedule, that it fits in with that lifestyle. Don't overcommit yourself, because it's one of the worst things you can do with YouTube, and you will start to lose that inspiration for posting on here very, very quickly. Tip number 3 is to engage with everyone. I cannot stress this enough. When you first start a YouTube channel, the best way to start building a little bit of a community is to engage with everyone. Reply to all the comments if possible. Obviously, if you do have a video that goes viral and you're getting like thousands of comments on there, it may not be possible to reply to everyone, but I definitely try my best on this channel and even my other channels, even my 100,000 subscriber channel, to try and reply to everyone or as many people as I can. I really think especially this is important when you are starting out on your channel. You want to be as engaged as possible with a potential community member, so that's any of your audience that's commenting on your videos. Make sure to engage with them. It's also just a really nice thing to do, especially if someone's left you a really nice comment on one of your videos. It's always nice to reply to that and thank them. So I think it's just common courtesy too, but definitely remember to engage with as many people as possible when you're first starting out, because this will really do wonders for building a community, especially as you go along with your YouTube channel. Tip number 4 is to aim for little improvements continuously with your videos. Now, by improvements, I mean this could be down to the technical aspects of your video, how the quality appears, maybe the style of your videos or the topics you're talking about. I always feel like it's a great way to look at this in the sense that you want to be improving continuously. Even if it's by a really small margin with each video you do, just think of small, tiny little ways that you can start to improve them. Research a little bit more for your next video, and then for the next one, focus more on the thumbnail. And then for the next video, maybe add in some professional music. Just little small steps to continuously improve your videos, because I can honestly say after 10 years on YouTube, I still don't know everything. I still don't feel like my videos are amazing. I think I've still got a long way to go. I'm not a filmmaker by any means. My background is photography, so obviously I feel much more comfortable in that arena, and I am still learning all about videos and what makes a really good video. So I think there is so much to learn with this field, and never start to feel like you've learned it all, because chances are you probably haven't. Now, the next point is a little bit tricky to convey, because I want to talk about the fact that you really shouldn't be necessarily mimicking or copying other people in your field on YouTube or in your niche. I think it's really important to be aware of what people in your niche on YouTube are doing, but it's also important to make sure that whatever you're doing on YouTube, try to give it your own original twist. There's obviously going to be so much crossover with topics, and it's really hard to be completely original these days. I totally understand that. But I also think there's a difference between just basically doing the same thing that everyone else in your niche is doing, and then taking a topic and maybe doing something a little bit different with it. Maybe you have a different thumbnail, a different title. I've noticed that this is something that a lot of YouTubers are doing these days. It feels like everyone's kind of mimicking everyone else with the kinds of content that everyone's doing, the kinds of channels that they're creating. And I think there's always going to be something that you personally can do differently. So I would always strive for that as a YouTuber, and make sure that whatever you do, you're not just kind of ripping what other people are doing or taking things word for word just because that video has done well for that other YouTuber. It's obviously very important to look at what topics are doing well on YouTube, to look at what videos are doing well, to look at things for inspiration as well. But there are so many ways that you can do things differently. Don't necessarily feel like you just have to mimic what everyone else is doing, and mimic very clickbait titles, because I feel like that is very much the thing to do on YouTube these days. Clickbait is seemingly so popular, and unfortunately this is what the YouTube algorithm wants a lot of the time, so I think people feel unfortunately they do have to do it. But I think there's also other ways to go about it, and always remember to put your own original twist on things and personality into your videos as much as you can. The next tip I want to talk about is to remember to create HelpHub and hero content. This is something I've talked about before on my channel as well, and it's actually something that YouTube really pushes. It is an actual structured way of doing your videos. So help content is going to be tutorial based content. It's basically educational, so you'll essentially learn something from the video. Hub content is really your week to week content that you're known for on YouTube. So whatever niche you're in, whatever regular content that you're putting out, that's kind of what your regular viewers are going back to view. And then you have your hero content. So these are the videos that are really meant to shine. These are the types of videos that might appeal to a wider audience and will hopefully go viral. It's really important to make sure, especially in the beginning, that you're doing a bit of mix of this kind of content, because making sure that you're doing help videos, for example, will hopefully allow you to get more onto YouTube search as well as browse features. I think it's good to have a few different avenues of how people are finding your videos, and a lot of the time help videos tend to be a little bit more like evergreen content, which means they don't ever really go out of fashion. People are always looking for those particular videos, especially if they're like a tutorial. It's really good in the beginning to make sure you're maybe doing at least one of each category per month, or one video of each category, and make sure that you're posting a variety of content to YouTube, because that's going to give you the best chance, I believe, of getting your content out there and for YouTube to recommend it. It's also going to give you a little bit more of a varied audience and get them coming in from different places on YouTube. So I definitely feel like this is a very important point. The next point is you need to do trial and error. This is what YouTube is all about. You need to learn what works and what doesn't work, especially for your audience. I feel like even after a few years on YouTube with this particular channel, I'm still trialing new types of content all the time. I'm still trying to find out what works, what people are interested in seeing, what kind of content I want to do. I'm still always exploring different avenues of doing different types of videos, especially with this channel, and it's likely going to take you a while to find out what actually does work and what doesn't. But just remember, if you're posting some videos and they're doing well and then other videos are just not doing well, that's completely normal, and it's totally normal to start off your YouTube journey and have that happening constantly. It's even normal 10 years down the track to still have that happening. But just remember to do as much trial and error as you want, especially in the beginning while you're trying to form your niche and trying to form your style of YouTube videos. Because the sooner you learn what actually works, the quicker you're going to grow a successful YouTube channel. And then my final tip for this video is to keep going. This, I would say, hands down, is one of the most important points in this video, because if you don't keep going, then you're not going to have a chance chance of running a successful YouTube channel. That's basically at the end of the day what will happen. And I always say this on my channel, but perseverance is really key with YouTube. Even through the tough times of feeling like your channel's not growing at all, I think it's so imperative to always just remember in your head why you want to keep going and keep going. It's definitely easier said than done, especially if you're not seeing the results that you would like from weeks, months, or even years of being on YouTube. It's a really heartbreaking process at times, but I always say if you're going to give up with YouTube videos, then you've given up the chance of having a successful YouTube channel. If you don't give up and you keep going, there's always a chance. So do your best to persevere, and that is basically how some of the biggest YouTubers have become successful on this platform, is that they've just kept going even though times could be really hard. Well, I hope you really enjoyed this video today, and I hope you learned something new from it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, make sure you do, because I'll be posting a lot more videos in future. Make sure to also hit the notification bell if you want to see more updates from this channel, and let me know down in the comment section below if you've got any tips for creating a successful YouTube channel, or if you're struggling with anything in particular at the moment with your own YouTube channel. I really want to hear all your thoughts down in the comment section. Also, let me know in the comments if there's anything in particular you want to see on my channel, because I'm always open to requests. But thank you so much as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.